Welcome to Faith Talk Discussion, The Blessing. It's about when people go through many life experience every day, every week, every month. They sometimes experience situations that have them in pits they can't get out. It ain't always them. Sometimes it can be who they connect with or associate with, or it can be in general life. Life bring things to all, and sometimes it's come that way that it takes God to bring you out. He's waiting always, never leave you alone, and he used people. He has many in his image and different titles in the community, waiting to get help, helping you to come out. And God know how to bring it, and he can bring you out without anyone in it. And then he have sometimes people in it to get things understood of things happening and why, and sometimes no answers, but working through to get you where you need to be, back to the norm, nourish the mind, the body, and relationships, and all types of things that has come in this way of place of bringing people through things that hurt them or put them in a position they need others and God to come in the regular professional community to ministry. So today is the faith talk, the blessing. God always there. He never leave you. He cares for all diversity of mankind. And he see them all in one eye and as humans. Color is not in it. It's just the spirit and the heart to God. And he look at them all alike and he love them. So this music does not belong to me, or I don't own it. I want to say that. However, when I come forth with something to speak on, I like to have something in background with me and details and coming with what's real in life, what true can come. It can sometimes hurt, pain hurt when you're coming through things you never didn't expect in life, never knew would happen to you in life, never expected to happen. You don't know your future, but God do. And God can bring you through anything. Nothing is too hard for him. What's hard for man is not hard for God. So today, I'm the host, Donna Herring, of the Faith Talk Discussion, The Blessing. Real life, lives matter. All lives matter in diversity. Things happen to all. All have the side of human nature to feel, relate to behave to things they never seen, and it all comes where people have to stand in times of matters that come in places in diversity that be a reach to them in hospitals, in jails, prisons, homeless shelters, churches, many other things out there to reach them, social service, and many kids agencies around and to the broken homes and hearts and things that shattered things in lives that didn't expect to be. And we often need Jesus in everything we do so that we don't let people realize that he's a light in the life. He's a blessing in the life to people. Don't know him, may not ever knew anything, but he works through us, people to help people. And then he do it alone. But it's just life. God want us all to be like him and loving, caring. Some have things they done ran from the messes. God have to bring them out of that way because they are coming in their way with dealing with what they think. Don't have to be right. The word of God say in Proverbs, or where a man seemeth right, but the road thereof is destruction. And it's sad when you got people. It's sad when you got people looks at things and is watching wrong happen in many places. They know right, but they still watch it, though it matters not. All lives matter to God. Real true people in God, even if they in the church or not, they got a human way to relate. But some folks have no heart or no love. They in the dead end to a dead root in the ground planted. That's the heart God got to break up and shatter to bring it in his way, in form. Even he brought them in, but sin comes in the form of that way with people heartless, no regards, no respect for their own or anyone else. They look at it as what it is and don't think right in the mind of God. And he's not in that way. You know, people have to learn the right way. If they've been around messing way, and they can see they see their fellow man have needs, and they pass them by and they could have fed them on the street. You know, Jesus come in different forms. And we never know what he is in a childlike way, a homeless way, in the hospital, nursing home, rehabilitations, anywhere. We just don't have people that have been around a lot of things they might don't have right thinking, right doing. But he the one that brings it right. Something wrong with a mind that don't think right, don't do right. It ain't about our colors. Colors ain't in God's eyes. It's the spirit and the heart. But we all have human experience to relate. And those that know right, they tend not to think right. They mind in a gutter, in a pit. Don't have no heart for them they see in these places and experiences. Some done unfair, some fall in it with being around the wrong people, and things just happen by arrows that bring blessings. And even them in diversity, all diversity stand for rights and offices they over and manage in the community as leaders. In the regular community, from the White House all the way into the community neighborhoods and places. And those under them. And people have to look at all things the way God wanted to see, with his eyes, hear with his ears, talk with his mouth to get things accomplished for the diversity. And he loved them all the same, see them all the same, in a human way, to care, to meet the needs, to have people to work with them, knowing things they come out of, shattered them, have them in pits, things people left folks to the worst. But it took God to send people out, the right ones to know and go. Out of the country missions. Every day in the United States, meeting needs and caring like Christ. Like the four gospel missions. We have to be that way about mankind and nature like God. Be concerned about your fellow man. Put aside all the differences when it comes to help. If it's a food way, housing way, visiting someone locked down, that makes a difference, shows God's love, supporting people needed in charities to meet their needs in those programs, all around, hands out in God, in diversity, reaching people global, international, and it never stops. It's an ongoing thing. It never ends. If we keep standing and put aside what foolishness people bring in diversity and conflicts and war, God don't make them that way. He don't make them that way. They come and influence that way, culture and their way of feeling of another, and God don't work that way. Tell them to get rid of all their ancestor practices. They have to come the way God wants to do it right. Not in their own feelings, not in their own thoughts, but what God said, all equality. Not where who feel on, shouldn't be, ain't. They don't validate you. God validates human in diversity to be like in his image. And that's something to celebrate. Celebrate the resurrection. Celebrate all he's doing, his joy, his love, his peace. Never go. He never run out. He never run out like humans. That's why he can supply all the time. He don't never run out. He's eternal. All the things he have, he's the one that works it. People in black communities act like they in a space somewhere. Their mind is blind and they don't act to things in a normal way. Something wrong. Something wrong with them. Because most people know in places they've been taught, but perhaps they left it all behind and feel they living their life. But then they don't have regards of others. Then when something come their way in life, they want someone to come help them. They can have a man in the house and whatever else in there with them. They eventually have to, God know how to work it. And they'll come to wonder if others like that toward them. Put your shoes on the feet of another. Any diversity. It ain't the color. They know the behaviors of someone doing something abnormal. And they looking at it. That ain't God's nature. That ain't knowing them. So we have to be lights wherever we at. Age ain't got nothing to do with it. I've seen plenty young people, teenagers, all ages, know what things behavior should be like. That's a fool that don't choose to do right. And they don't matter about their color. That's an ignorant person that needs to know God. Need to be saved. Something wrong, and I'll bring this out again. I said it on some other time on other recordings. Lou Rawls said, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Invest in positive vibes, and you'll see who know you, where you go, who they will know you all around in his way, in the professional way. And you ain't got to put on. God works it in his mission. A story comes behind all. Whether they in trouble, it happened wrongfully, it'll come out of what God brings out. It's ignorant when you got people don't act with sense. And they call themselves a human. Then, like I said again, I've seen many things in paths in my walks of life. Not people always in a connection to me, but in paths of others. Behaviors, senseless, foolishness, and don't have no intelligence. And they mind, when they come to a woe, they'll want other people to come running to them, but they want to helping to others. And they'll feel funny when they do them in a way and want somebody to tell something, but their mind is like in a box, a hood box, in a street box. They like drama, street behaviors, hood mentality. It tells what they do, that's who they are. And they can't dress it up. It ain't gonna mean nothing. What's in you comes out. It shows who you are, where you at. Don't matter where you at. You ain't got it like that. If your mentality like that, people learned you by your doings and what way you think. I don't have to know. You don't have to know them. That's my expertise in the field I'm in, human service social worker. We deal with people, behaviors, and different environments. And we don't have to know them, but we can observe real quick. Social workers as well, we do it later. And they think you gotta know them. Disgrace to some people, a disgrace. And they just wasting time. They watching, but I at least got my life together. It ain't watching, it ain't doing nothing. They the one watching and ain't doing nothing. Running out ain't gonna help you. And you can be an entrepreneur. That's how bad God is. Those they look to be in nets and pits, they can be in one themselves today or tomorrow. And then see what others do and they feel like that. God working. And many know the way they ought to be, but their mindset is in a hood way, in a street way. I was brought up positive. And God and many others out there. But when we be concerned, I was taught and raised this way. And I thank God for blessing me in the way I am in what he brought me to be, because I definitely love being caring and concerned. But you don't let people run over you. Keep your boundaries. I don't care who it is, and ain't no way somebody call themselves in the culture of blacks watching drama, and that must be what they are. Because anything I'm watching, that's what I am. That's what they are. Ain't nobody in the right mind. And even in neighborhoods, I done lived in good, and I lived in all types of good neighborhoods even here. And you and neighbors, good neighbors, will stand against things, ain't? But the negatives ain't that way, and where they ought to be, you know where they at. They ain't got to talk to you. You can see them, read them, silent. He too bad for humans. Negative don't attract me. It may want me to help them know God's way, but not in my personal life. I don't deal with it. Relationships I'm in, I deal with positive, but I don't. God ain't letting it be sitting around with me, talking drama, entertaining. The time they being negative, they could be learning something, but they ain't, and others are moving on. Like I said, we have to learn to look at things for what God show us. Pray for them, don't know nothing. And they look foolish when they do doing that. Where they at? Nowhere. Still the same way they was. Ain't getting nowhere. The ones he bringing up, they moving and they doing, and they ain't got their mind in one spot. Their mind in peace. And the devil don't understand the laughters. I'm happy because I got things in me to give to help to bless the gifts of God. And in a professional way, understanding people in crisis, behaviors, and foolish young people. I got, not to say this, my daughters would know to react to someone that way. They was raised by being two parents. And they was raised up in God. And they're not foolish either. They all know the right way. They learn God's way. So I'm glad that I got you learn experience about people, and it'll be out for me to speak more on things that people don't have the right mindset, hood mindset, and in the street way. That's an untasteful way to me. But you want to help them anyway with love of God. He don't discriminatory against it, but come to know him and show him how to be, give him the way to know in his word, in his image, and be the light. And that's why I can be positive. I was raised that way and still that way today. They can't do nothing to take my joy. But it's a hood area. Street people call themselves living. Living? How are you living? And doing what? Messes? I wouldn't want to see that view. Show me somebody got in a situation, ain't wasting time and doing what God wants you to do. And waiting, and when you see people leave in any circumstance, watching wrong, you would stand. You wouldn't watch that. They don't have nothing else in them. But you pray for those types of people. They're lost and need to be found. Moses, God used to bring them out through the Red Sea, out of where they was at in bondage, and brought them into the light. And the same with others God used in the Bible to give a word to different ones to help people, because folks in the street mentality is good, unbecoming to me. I don't deal with messes. The relations in my life is like me, no mess. My kids look like me, and the relationships I was in are cheerful like us, like me and the mate. And what was they daddy deceased, but was, and so the one isn't. But we thank God for all the things He's doing. They know what to do. And I thank Him for letting me show them the way to be, from learning the arrow way to coming to transition God's way. Don't have to stay the same. That's a mindset. And I'm cheerful all the time. This me. Ain't nothing rocking it. Anybody come around me, I'll find that's me. God is in me. Strong confidence in Him. What they gonna do? They ain't got nothing to hold. They little stuff can be zapped. That'll hold to God. They ain't got nothing to match. God, they can't match with. I thank you today for listening. I encourage you that, I'm sorry, hold on. I encourage you to stay on the right path in life. Be encouraged when you see someone in trouble. Help them, bless them. Go out and reach out. If it's someone in danger, then you call anonymous. Help them in some form of getting help if you find them in trouble. Reach out the way God would want you to, and be a blessing, make a difference in the community, be a part of something to show God care, He love, He use us in His image, and then He can do things alone. So till next time, this is short in telling about anybody in a pit or a net. Reach out, pray, work with them if you can, and get them where they need to be, to who can work more in things you don't do, to when it come up, they can come where you at to get to the area you do. Until next time, I'm the host, Donna Herring, the Faith Talk discussion, the blessing. Be a blessing to someone. Don't be in a heartless way of not being concerned about your fellow man of diversity. God put us here. Don't behave because what others do, that's them. You show you. You ain't got to follow people. You fit with what God do. He validates, not people. Don't try to fit in. Just stay in the place He put you, and they'll know who you are when it's all over. Till next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.